best friend of 12 years chose her boyfriend over me, and now she is begging for forgiveness.
Oh, well.
My ex-best friend, 21 female, and I, 22 female, have known each other for 12 years. We were literally each other's ride and dies. We were there for every important moment in each other's lives. I consider her a sister that I never had. In January 2021, my best friend got into a relationship with a guy. She seemed happy, and she told me that he was the best guy she'd ever been with. When I met him...
Surprise! She said 21, and I was like, whoop! Surprise!
I haven't been with a lot. You don't know yet. When I met him, he was cool and he seemed nice. Fast forward to May 2021. One night, I was out with some other friends and we went to the spot that we would usually hang out at. My best friend wasn't with us because she was working that night. I ended up running into her boyfriend and his friends. My friend group and his friend group ended up chilling together and everything was cool. I had only one drink that night because I had to get up early the next morning. However, everyone else had a couple drinks in them. I ended up leaving early and told them that the Uber I had ordered was on its way. My best friend's boyfriend offered to walk with me because he also had to go out to smoke. We ended up outside and I proceed to also have a quick smoke before my ride arrives. We started talking about trivial stuff and then about my best friend. I told him that it sucked that she wasn't able to come out tonight. At first he agreed with me, but then he said, quote, "Yeah, but if she was here, we wouldn't be talking right now," which rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh, not shit talking your girlfriend.
I was looking at my phone to see where the Uber was and pretended that I didn't hear what he said. He repeated what he said and went on to add that if he wasn't with my friend, he'd be pursuing me. I ended up snapping at him and told him that what he was doing was fucked up. My Uber was pulling up, so I told him to get lost and got inside the car. I ended up texting my friend on my way home and told her that I needed to speak to her urgently and that she should call me when she gets off in the morning. I didn't tell her what it was about because I felt like this type of information needs to be told face to face or at least be heard.
She's very mature. I would have been like, check your Snapchat. I recorded the whole shit.
You have to these days.
Yeah.
When the next morning came, she had not called me, but she had seen the text message because the red receipts were on. I called her, and the minute that she picked up, I could tell she was pissed. I asked her how she was doing, and she was being very short with me.
Oh, was she?
After a few...
Sounds like PR to me. Sounds like somebody did PR before you.
Damage control.
Little spin. Okay.
After a few awkward moments, I told her that I needed to tell her about something that happened the night before. And she said, quote, "I know."
This is why you don't wait.
Gotta just... Twitter fingers, just get it out there.
Literally. Yo,
get it
your
out.
boyfriend. You know what? Most of my friends too, I'm going to, you know what? Continue. And then I'll say my piece.
Turns out that her boyfriend had texted her the night before that I had tried to flirt with him. According to him, I was trying to take advantage of him being drunk to flirt with him while we were smoking, and that he rejected my advances. To make it worse, he picked her up that morning from her job and fed her more lies about that night. She ended up cussing me out, and to be honest, I started cussing her out too. I told her that she was an idiot for believing any of that.
That's not cussing out.
But it's
angel.
like she wouldn't hear it. Our friendship ended that day, and we did not speak from May 2021 to today, March 2022. She called me from a new number. I blocked her and basically said that she was sorry for believing those things, that he cheated, and that now she realized how much of a liar he is. She said it didn't excuse what she did, but she believed him because she loved him and thought he was the one. She was crying during the call, and I could feel her emotions. I'm so conflicted. This is my ex-best friend of 12 years, the person that I practically grew up with. Normally, I'd never take someone back, but there's been a lot of history between us, and I feel so conflicted. I still love her to this day. Should I try to salvage this friendship and give her another chance?
Yeah. What the fuck? You're 21, 22. She's your best friend since you were what, in 7th, 6th grade?
There is a key detail here, though.
Go.
So she adds an edit, and she said, "I suspect she caused issues in my other friendships, though. We shared friends in common, and when all of this happened, they distanced themselves from me, and our friendships turned into acquaintances. This all happened after we stopped being friends, and I never told any of them what had happened, and never asked out of shame. This is a big reason why I'm struggling to make this decision, because she had them all ice me out."
You don't have to be best friends with her again.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you can be on good terms, but like, I'm sorry. When you're in your early 20s and you're caught up, we all lose contact with our fucking friends. We all go ghost. We all become obsessed with this idea of like being young and getting married and having to hold on and like that like it's like a fever. Like you feel like you're in a fever dream with somebody. We all do that shit. And there's something that I wish I could tell younger me is you're really gonna let a dude get in between you and a friend, even if she wasn't the perfect best friend. Nobody fucking is. You guys don't have to be best friends again.
No.
But this girl basically gave up her whole life to make something work, and it blew up in her fucking face.
Yeah.
She's reaching out to you because meet her in the middle. She's telling you she knows she was wrong. Mm-hmm. But you can't blame somebody for being young and obsessed with somebody. And second of all, she seems like she has a hard time making friends. Or like she's very possessive, you know what I mean? Especially with like the best friend situation and like icing out other people. She seems very possessive. She's having a hard time. You know her better than anybody. You can be there for her. Doesn't mean you guys got to get like matching tattoos.
Yeah.
But
12 years is a lot to throw away.
And you're so young.
22, yeah.
Listen, what I sincerely mean that you don't have to be best friends, but to block more love in your life is crazy to me. There are some people obviously who are very toxic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And dudes do this. I'm sorry. Like if this young boys do this a lot. And I feel like there's nothing more dangerous than a rejected man. If she would have said, yeah, me too, he would have never snitched on her. It was damage control.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? He turned around and said, your friend hit on me. I've been in that situation too. We all learn our lesson. Your friend will probably not get fucked over like that ever again if she learned her lesson. Mm-hmm. But you're what, seniors in college or just graduated college?
Yeah.
Relax. And also to like have the sit down conversation. This is a dude that she's with. I'm sure she's in love with him, whatever. But the conversation is only as serious as you make it. My friends, I'm sorry, would have called me and be like, yo, your dude's a whore. So, meet me. Let's go out. Let's go out tomorrow. I'll tell you all about it. He's trash, dude. Like, relax. He's trash. Am I wrong? You guys would have called me and been like, okay, I just spoke to Bob. It's always Bob. Mm-hmm. Just spoke to Bob. He hit on me. He's a piece of shit. I'm sure he's calling you right now. I'll see you tomorrow. It's done. It's cut. You deserve better. This man's a psychopath.
That's what I don't get. Like, I'm like, I've had trash men that try to like flip this script. Like, I dated a serial cheater. Like, the shit he would spin. He ended up getting a girl pregnant while he was with me. It was
had a baby on you.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It was nuts. Mm-hmm. And so like, I just think it's crazy that like you've been friends with her for 12 years and you believe this guy that you've known for a couple months. It's sad. It's overall sad.
Also to like try to cheat on me and you get rejected, that's embarrassing for you.
That's why he did it. His ego was hurt.
Exactly. How embarrassing.
So
you go out for a smoke? Okay, pony boy. Get the fuck over yourself.
There's an update.
Oh, hit me.
So I'll spark notes it for you. So she ended up apologizing, like reached back out. They met up at a cafe and like had a long heart-to-heart conversation. She told me that she had suspicions when her ex wasn't who he said he was months prior to their breakup. She also said that she suspected he may have lied about me, but she wasn't sure. I asked her why she didn't say anything or reach out to me sooner if she had doubts. And she said that once again, she wasn't sure because she didn't know what to believe. I guess they were like in the middle of a breakup, like fight. And she goes, I asked her why she's sure now that he was lying. And apparently it's because he threw it in her face during the breakup. Apparently they had a big argument and he told her, quote, you're so fucking stupid. You let me convince you that your best friend was coming on to me.
This guy's a little bit of an evil genius.
Mm-hmm.
That is fucking low. You're so fucking stupid. You let me isolate you.
He's a sociopath.
He's a sociopath. You're so fucking dumb. Like imagine I looked like I was on this podcast. I would never do this, by the way. Obviously, I'm talking about evil, and I'm like, I don't know. That wasn't a good episode. I wouldn't air it. And then later on, I look at him like, you're so dumb that you let me convince you.
You pick those fucking terrible stories.
You're so dumb. You let me convince you that something that is beloved is bad. Like your podcast. Imagine you look at me, you're like, nee. He's fucking with her reality. He's fucking with her sense of reality.
He is tilting her radar so off.
I feel bad because sometimes I tell people to stay soft. You know what I mean? Like, no, I say it all the time. Like, don't let people change the way you love people. You know what I mean? Just like, just because you're a bad friend to me doesn't change the way I'm going to be a friend to people, right?
Yeah.
For example. But there's also a part of me where like my most toxic trait is that I'm naive. Because I can't see a reason why anybody would want to hurt me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You believe in the best in people.
I rather believe the best. I rather see the benefit of the doubt than believe that people are not innately good. But I'm 31, right? So I'm in a position where if you fuck me over, that's on you.
Yeah.
At 21, you're way too like soft for that.
You're still malleable. Yeah.
You're still malleable. You got to protect yourself a little bit.
I know. So she goes on to say, like, they ended up talking a little bit more. She essentially did admit that she went to all the other friends and told them, and that's why they iced her out.
Yo.
She admitted it. So OP told her, you know what?
She was mad.
I appreciate your apology. You need to go and tell them all because that's not right if you don't correct your error. I forgive you, but at this point in time, I'm not ready to be your friend again. Doesn't mean I'll change my mind, but I'm not ready.
I would also say, like, you were so confident I wanted to fuck your man. I already know he's ugly. Please.
You were doing charity work as it was, sweetie.
Baby.
Come on.
Baby.
Come on.
Nobody wants to fuck your man. You know what I mean? That was a little narcissistic of her.
He was yours.
Yeah. He was all your. I said it to people. I'm like, I'm not trying to offend you, but you and I got different types. Like, that's not even my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm no one. I think I have to say that a lot to girls too, like the paranoia that people have about like, oh, but like if I can't leave my man alone with my friends, like I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I do episodes like with my boyfriend and my best friend, Lauren. Alejandra hasn't done it yet. And Lauren will just be like, haha, and she'll kind of like give him like a little shoulder tap.
And people go nuts.
People go nuts in the YouTube comments. They're like, is it just me or is Lauren flirting with Justin?
No, it's called friendship.
Is Lauren getting a little too comfortable with Justin? And I'm like,
that's fucking weird.
I'm like, literally,
they're projecting though. You know that.
I could sleep in the same bed with them. Like we've literally laid in bed together and all watched movies. Like
5 Little Monkeys.
Yeah, like I'm like, you guys are like, it's projection. No. I'm just like, if I didn't trust him, I wouldn't be with him. And if you are in this spot with your relationship where you can't trust your boyfriend or your significant other around other people, especially your best friends, what are you doing?
I'm gonna say I love, and I've been burned bad.
Same.
Like to a crisp.
Oh, I've been fried. Okay? Like the little frogs on the sidewalk.
Exactly. Poor motherfuckers. They didn't even see it coming.
Up.
They're so fucked up. And I still, when I'm dating somebody and someone's like, I'm gonna go hang out with your friends, I'm like, that's so sick. Cause you want your pod to be your pod. You know what I mean? And I'm not paranoid about it at all. And when I see people that are paranoid, I'm like, I look at them and I'm like, is this a mirror for you right now? Are you not to be trusted? And the reason I rather trust my friends is because I've invested years. Yeah. I'm keeping my friends. I know for a fact for the friend, and I have a close knit, I call them, I don't call them best friends. I call them non-negotiables.
They're family.
Yeah. And I have about 12 of them that they are non-negotiable to me. And I know for a fact that they would never fuck me over. They rather cut off their own tongue and pull out their fingernails than fuck me over, no matter what. And it took like over a decade to find these people.
It takes a lot to cultivate those kind of friendships.
Lot. And if the person that I'm with makes a move on them, I'm happy to cut you off because they're non-negotiable.
Yep.
Those girls that ice them out, they're not your non-negotiables. Because I would have gone, yo, Shannon, what the fuck is going on? Did you try to fuck Michaela's man? No? All right, I believe you. Done. Shannon would never do that. Period. You know what I mean? Like there's a lack of like loyalty on this side. But I understand too because this man is fucking with her perception of what's real and what's not.
Well, clearly he's a sociopath, so I'm sure there's a lot of gaslighting and like
he should be in sales.
Young love, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Send him door to door, selling his bullshit. I think the line, and it kind of speaks to your non-negotiables. She says, "We both ended up crying, and honestly, this felt worse than any breakup I've ever had." And I think that's like the saddest part about all this is like losing friends is
the worst breakup in the world.
It's terrible.
The worst.
Like I went through the most psychotic situation where I had to cut one of my best friends off. Like I flew to Dallas to visit her, took another friend with me, and I was living in Minnesota finishing up school. And she wanted to become friends with my friend that I brought with so bad. We went out. I had a bad Molly trip, so I was like, I'm sending myself home. And to keep my friend from texting me, she took her phone and hid her phone in a man's suit pocket at the party they were at. So she couldn't find her phone.
So she couldn't check on you.
So she couldn't check on me because she wanted to separate her from me so bad so she could become friends with her.
She's jealous.
She was a crazy social climber, and my friend, her dad worked for like a NHL organization, and she wanted to marry some hockey dick. So she thought that was her in. And like, I'm like, Lydia, I'm tripping balls. She was a bitch. I tried to get into her apartment, like had the key, and she was like, the gate was broken. She's like, why the fuck are you calling me? I'm like, we're done. I tried the next day. They stayed out partying at his house the whole next day. And I was like, hey, you don't have Wi-Fi?
What?
I have nothing to do here. Can I take your car across the street to Walmart and go buy myself a fucking book? No, you can't take my car. And I'm like, this is it?
There are four.
This is it?
Have you seen that movie about the 4 primal feelings? In and out, inside out. So those primal feelings, what are they? Joy, fear, sadness, and anger. Mm-hmm. Those are like your 4 primary colors. I know there's 3, but there's 4. And if you don't address one of them, they manifest into other shit.
Yeah.
Being a control freak, or jealous. Jealous is fear and anger, right? Rage is not being mad. Rage is like sadness, anger. It's like all of them. All these things can manifest into something else.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad when I go through friend breakups if I'm not at fault, because of course I'm not a perfect person. I fucked up too.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes I look at people and I'm like, I know I'm a good friend. And you're having such a hard time facing yourself in the way that you feel that now you get to miss out on a friend like me.
Yeah.
And I'm a good fucking friend.
It was no loss to me. I literally had the best time the rest of my trip, got my own hotel, pet some fucking giraffes. It was a good time.
Like, why would you dig yourself into a hole where life would be easier without you when you know that I love you?
I know.
You know what I mean? Especially for friends. A friend breakup,
it sucks.
What's fucked up to me, though, is what we were saying about the girl in the beginning who was biracial and wasn't invited to dinner. What communication? This girl was looking at herself in the mirror and she's like, I did everything right. I had one drink because I had to wake up early. I was responsible. I called the Uber. This guy hit on me. I did not respond. I ignored his advances. He repeated it. I tried to tell her what is wrong with me. And then as women, we look at ourselves in the mirror and we think, I'm not doing good enough. So now this girl in this relationship, they're both walking on eggshells because one person is living in a space of like, I don't want to make her mad again, fear, and the other one is living in people pleasing. Mm-hmm. It's not, they should be friendly, but they need like years apart.
Yeah, I would agree. I think
a few years. See each other when you're 25, 26, and it happens like that, babes. So please.
They'll come back together. Mm-hmm. I know. And like, they've been friends 12 years. It's fucked up. They didn't talk for over
a year,
which is really fucking crazy to me. But
I didn't talk to one of my best friends for 10 months. I call it the winter of our friendship because it's a season and you see each other and you're like, yo, I love you. But it's important to like, it's about lessons, right? If you ever do this to me ever again. Mm-hmm. Basically, I was going through a breakup and she's like, I don't want to be around sad people. And she hadn't been through a breakup yet. I understand. We're past that now. You know what I mean? But there's a point now where it's like, I would never do it to you.
No.
So I need to know if I have to meet you here, because I won't. You got to meet me here. I'm not saying I'm up here, but you got to meet me here.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, it's like you don't have to be best friends. Like determine how much you want to invest in this friendship and hold her at arm's length going forward, maybe if that's. But like, I'm kind of in the boat. Sometimes people do need to be cut out. Yeah, and that's on that. But I think life is also too short, and you've been friends forever.
And I'm gonna say, people talk about it like, oh, she's dating such a manipulator. She's dating, he's such a scammer, con artist, liar, whatever. Nobody falls for a manipulator that's not charming, can work a room, great conversationalist. What's it called when you have a charismatic, confident? Of course she is, because if somebody manipulative like that and smart like that chooses you, what does that make you? You must be smart and funny too. Mm-hmm. So like, you can't be that mad at her.
No,
she's a little freaking girl.
She's a young.
She's a little girl.
She's a young baby. They'll figure it out.
We all do. Go to therapy. Go to a sound deprivation bath.
Oh, I want to try that so bad.
So do I, but my friend pooped herself in it because the salt. The salt speeds up your
digestive system.
So she shit herself in the tank, and she was like banging on the door to be let out. They wouldn't open the door.
Just floating with her own poop in there.
And then she picked it up and she tried to push it down the drain with her toes.
She waffle stomped it.
She's naked.
Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna try shrooms and Joshua Tree first.
Please do that. Do that first. Let's go step by step. But if
seems
you
a
shit
little
yourself in
safer.
the sound deprivation bath, you gotta call me.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll be my first one.
There you go. I'll come get you. I'll come get you.
Help, Mom. Can you come pick me up?
She's shit in there.
I wonder if that costs extra to do that.
I think she ran out, to be honest. She was naked. She ran out.
I would try to scoop that out with a shirt or something, like strain it out of there. No one would know. I would not leave any evidence behind.